Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to a late night live. We're going to be doing some wrenching here for you on YouTube. I just want to kind of go over a few things. Ended up canceling RC Conspiracies tonight. I didn't plan to. And then after my lunch, I had a work lunch meeting and I took my new buggy that I've got right here on my carry-all RC bag over to our Coastal RC Speedway. And I got out the buggy. Jeremy finished it for me last week or a week and a half ago. And I finally put the pinion on it and wired everything up. And hey, how's it going, Thomas? Yeah, so I got it all wired up, ready to go. Took it to the track Sunday. We went crawling with the Red Cat Gen 8 version 2, which is awesome. And especially for the price point, guys, you should check it out at BitGo Hobbies. My hat's feeling loose. I just got a haircut. All my hair's cut it off, so my hat's now kind of loose. So I'll probably play with it a lot. How's it going, John Martin and J.O.? So yeah, I want to talk to you guys a little bit because this buggy has got me so interested in the carpet stuff. Which I never thought would happen. I said I would never race that kind of stuff. And so I went on Sunday night with my kids. They ran it. They loved it. And then, here, I can get it off the bag, I guess. Strapped in here. So we went up and ran it Sunday night. And then I went back yesterday evening and ran it for a little bit more just by myself. And then, no, we went Saturday and I went back Sunday. I didn't do it on Monday night, I guess. But I went back today for a quick bit. And let's take this off too. There we go. So I took it back today and they said, hey, we have a race tonight. Are you coming? And I said, well, I don't have my MyLab set up for it yet. And I'll show you my servo, and it kind of raised some questions about how I do it. And anyway, figured it out. Found that I did have the basically splitter that I needed for the receiver wires in order to split a channel so I could run both the fan, which I need so I don't overheat it because it gets hot if you don't have a fan running. But I also needed to run the transponder. And this is the buggy I have. You guys really haven't seen it. It's a Team Losi Racing, so it's a TLR 22 5.0 AC, and it's the Astro/Carpet one, so that's what it's for. I just did a quick paint job on it, rattle can, no stickers, just took it out, sprayed a little green in the front, faded it to black, stuck on some yellow stickers to make it so I could see it in the air a little bit easier because it's kind of darker than I expected. I should have white backed the lime green, but I didn't, so the green isn't as poppy as I wanted. But here, let's do this. So I can talk to you guys and see your comments. Trail Critters here, AZ Froggies, what's up, guys? Yeah, so I canceled because they invited me to race tonight, and I decided to go. And it was really, really fun. So it's carpet off-road, and I have these up here. This is what I'm going to be wrenching on, getting these ready for my boys while we talk. It's simple fixes for those. But this is the setup. Phantom 17.5 motor, and it has a ProTech fan. One screw holding it on in the back here. I got this from the track after it was getting so hot, even though I was under geared with the 26 tooth and going super slow compared to everybody. But running the Spectrum. Now, the problem I came in, I wasn't making the weight qualification, so I had to run my 50C battery, 7.4, instead of my high voltage, 7.6 volt, I think is what it is, 100C. But it was only a 4,000 mAh, and I needed the weight of this. Plus, I had to buy some weights. So you can see the black weights in there on the chassis just to make weight. Yeah, flat landing jumps for momentum if you backside. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to get. I've only done it a couple days. I'm feeling pretty all right about it. I'm definitely slower than everybody, but racing, I crashed more. I was much more nervous, but it wasn't as I was doing all right in practice. I wasn't crashing a whole lot. I was backsiding. I was finally learning to scrub it, as they say, I guess. Hit the brakes right on the lip and tilt the nose down. Take off some of the speed that I just built up in the straightaway and try to downside it. I didn't always get it. Don't have the speed down exactly yet. It's going to take a while. But you can see I got this servo. It's a Spectrum S6240RX. It's a great little servo receiver. Problem is it only has a throttle plug and a bind plug. So the throttle, guess where that goes? Right here to my black box 600. Just a simple Reedy black box stock class. But I need to run this fan and I need to run this MyLapse. And so I had really clean wires until I added the MyLapse and I added this stupid splitter I have to run with this because I'm not running a standard receiver that has like 3 channels. So I need to figure out how to clean that up because it was nice. Take this off. I had them zip tied, separated here. I will say there was a little accident. Jeremy helped me build this and he'd wired it and I went and cut my wires to match the batteries that he'd left me for the power, but one of them was actually soldered already to the motor wrong, and I had this one left for basically these two were left for power, but it's actually this one and this first one that are for power. And so I'd cut this one to go here, which meant then when I realized it, I had to desolder everything, put it into the new ABC order, and anyway, that's why that's got that knob in it. Little mistake. I should have looked it all over first, but I didn't. Anyway, stuff coming from this, guys. Really, really fun. I have a body that's been sent away to get painted to dark side. I also have some weights and things like different pieces up here that are brass that'll instead of the stock one. So I did all right. I didn't do great. Out of 7 people, I was 3rd and 4th in my 2 qualifiers in my class, which was not the hot class. Like they had a lot of the good guys all in one of the classes. And yeah, anyway, most of the A main pulled from their class based on the times. But I hit a wall right before my main. They let us go out to practice again. And I changed gearing and all that and came off a jump different and hit. And then my steering was stuck. It's basically moved the steering arm on the servo. So I had to literally take the whole front end apart because there's no way to get to that servo easily to get to that, which is really unfortunate. So I had to take all this apart and I had like 7 minutes to get it ready for the main, which I did. Luckily, I guessed the right screws to take out. So basically these top 2 and 2 on the bottom plate and another 2. And all of this moved enough that I could get a wrench in there with a ball end on it, a ball hex at an angle to undo the servo horn, recenter it, good to go. I ordered a aluminum one today because in the main, I actually got a great start. And actually I have now a nice blood blister in the rush. The wrench slipped out of something and really jammed my finger. But yeah, so I basically got up from, I started 4th in my main. So pushed through first lap, got halfway through and was kind of pushing up for the lead with the guys like a pack of 4. And I just barely caught a corner. Not a corner, but one of the little plastic guides, which we're all over those things and it doesn't really do anything, but that just sent it out again. So it's stripped, I'm thinking, and it's plastic. So that's my guess. And it just easily slid out of center again. So I ordered the 23 tooth one and a 25 tooth in case it isn't this. And I do have that new reef servo that they're using for the Red Cat to make it jump. That's super fast. And so if this doesn't work, I'll go to a standard setup with a Spectrum receiver and my reef servo. Anyway, that was a long intro on that. So I've got several things I'm going to be working on here just while we chat. I got my iPad up here so I can pull the chat up to look at while it's going on. There we go. Into the tripod. I was holding it that whole time. So over here, got my tripod. And I'm gonna get this up here. Now I can see what you guys are saying. More racing scars. Yeah, Kevin Gibbs not talking monsters. It's weird, isn't it? Let's see, where do we gotta go with this? We gotta back it up. Back it up, back it up. There we go. That's about a good distance. Try and cut the iPad out so it's not the dual reflection. All right, so first things first. Jake is in the house, Trail Critter. First thing I'm gonna do before I get started, I really want to get, this is on what I'm working on tonight is stuff for my boys. We're gonna have a little bit of a longer weekend with Thanksgiving here in the US. So move this out of the way. Here's the other LMT axle that was broken on, we didn't realize it until I started working on the truck that it actually had cracked. Not the big one, there's a little one there. I'll hide it, you can't see it, it's right there. Little stress crack there. And then it went up underneath where this screws in. And I went out to just bash and see. I glued it up hoping it would hold it. And it didn't. So I got about 4 minutes in after that big bash we did. And with the already crack on it, then the rear on the son of a digger went. But I do remember when, man, that one took some of the worst tumbles of all of them. So I do have new axle casings on order. And I don't plan to bash them that hard in the future. That was kind of a one-time thing. Before we move on to this, though, I will say I showed a picture. You guys don't see this one a whole lot in videos and things. It's one of my favorite trucks, though. It's my Michigan Ice Monster. Tilt up. There we go. So I did the body on this one, painted it up, painted the wheels, but the chassis, I call it the anvil chassis. It kind of looks like an anvil to me from the side especially. But it's got weights up front here to help the front end want to drop down off of the log stacks, bring the front end back down after you hit it. Got weight down in the bottom, but really old plastics. Probably this was an original clodbuster or bullhead. The plastics are really brittle looking, and so I've swapped out a lot of them. I haven't done all of them, but I mean, I literally finished it and redid the axles, put in a 19 tooth pinions in here. I was able to get that in here with this little plastic, this clear piece on here. I'll have to show you guys a little closer in there. Right here's a little clear plastic piece. And it lets you see your gear mesh and all that, and it's redone. Get it on eBay. It's a really nice little kit. And then you have to Dremel out the casings. But did all that, and then I put these new shocks on. I want something a little bit more springy and just loose, because when you hit these obstacles, you need it to just kind of absorb it. and what I had was way too stiff, so I wanted something really soft, and I'm okay with it kind of bouncing around for what we do with the speeds we go. Anyway, I did this, put these shocks on, mounted them to the front parts, and I basically just dropped it a little bit to the ground from like here, and it busted off one of these ladders where it mounts. Had to take the wheel off, take the hub off, redo it all. It was a pain, but she's running now. She's quicker. It's not that fast. I mean, I geared up, but it's so heavy with all of these adjustments that it still isn't as fast as it could be if it was a lighter truck, but kind of compensating for the weight. That said, these were painted for me by Dark Side Designs. You can see on the bench here, I've got a whole bunch of stuff. SMT 10. I'm working on another one. I just got in all the pieces I needed and I was waiting on to do 4 steer with it. So I have new parts bags of stuff somewhere. I got to finish those axles, replace this. We're going to do 4 steer on it, make it a freestyle truck. So that's coming. Hey, CJ Velocerian. Any other suggestions for electronics and a low CLMT roller other than Spectrum? Techno makes some great ones. They've got a really good set of options you could choose. It all depends. I mean, you could run a lot of the same things you run in an SMT10 technically, but a lot of this is beefed up and bigger, and so you can do with the bigger diffs and bigger drive line, basically drive shafts and everything, you can do a much larger motor. It can handle it. But you don't have to have it. You don't have to have that much power. Coke Zero. That's how I stay up so late, I guess. Basically what I'm going to be doing is just taking shoe goo. These are airbrushed. And so just to protect the paint job, it just creates kind of a barrier. I'm not trying to like protect the body from breaking. These things don't really, we haven't had any issue with the bodies cracking or doing anything with these. And we beat them up like crazy. So this is literally just to keep it from scraping away the paint. And so I just go in here and coat it with shoe goo all around. And that way anything that rubs up against it is just gonna hopefully take off the layer or hit the layer of shoe goo, which is gonna harden in here and create a nice little base. Am I too far away? Am I not talking loud enough? I can move it in a little closer if that's better. Up here in my messy office. Hey, what's going on, Earl? So this is a quick trick. You can do this. If you really want to give it stiffness to a body on a real basher that has speed that breaks, like Armacars, you can do it with your low C stuff. Tenacities and all that. You could do it with the Super Baja Ray. I did it with that custom Gravedigger I have for my 5T, but I took the mesh tape that they use for drywall and I put that in when I did all this to kind of really basically fiberglass it almost in a way, make it more rigid and stand up to abuse. Somebody's saying something about the volume. It's hard to know because I can't hear myself. I'm trying to talk loud. What are we doing with the Sentin? Okay, so the Sentins are trucks that we just abuse like really, really bad. If anybody comes over that doesn't know how to drive an RC and they ask to drive whatever I'm driving, I get the Sentin instead, and we run those. I convince them that it's way better. Basically, I don't want them to drive or break. Like the LMT, I can't get parts for it, so I should have gave Matthew Hall one of the Zentons to drive. But I kid. I love Matthew Hall. But yeah, so we gave them to kids, and some of them got, gutsy. I wanted to show them what they were capable of, and so I took them off the big send it ramp, and they liked that a lot. And so guess what they did? They started sending off the big send it ramps, the wood one even, and they were doing backflips, big, huge backflips with it. I think I posted it to Instagram. I didn't make a whole video on it because I didn't really have permission to be filming them, and try to be respectful of like our friends that come over and not just make them part of my YouTube channel when I let them drive an RC. And so they were in a lot of the video because I was sending it to them to be able to watch and have as a memory. But because I included all of them in the video so much, I didn't make a video. Anyway, big airs, big backflips, and I think we broke a shock. I think it pulled out of the bottom of the shock, like the rod end on it. So we'll be probably just replacing the shock. I've got more shocks. What's going on, Stripped Gear 82? So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Four-wheel steering is for the SMT10 project that I have going. That's going to go on this chassis here. If you're going to slide it out. That's upside down, and there's a shock stuck in it. So that's the monster truck chassis. Lots of options for mounting stuff in it. You can do a freestyle truck with that. And that's why I want 4 steer. It's not going to be for big air. It's going to be for more scale freestyle looking stuff. Slow motion. Try and make it look as scale as I can. I'm loving that side of stuff. Not necessarily going huge like I used to love to do. I still like to go big, but in fact we did. Got some footage from people that came into town. I still haven't edited yet, but we were running the Raminator. They helped fix it, so I let them drive it. And what else? Oh, they had some of their cars. They had the Super Rock Ray, and then they had a Notorious. And so we were bashing those, and I got out my 6S Typhon again, which I haven't driven since I put the new chassis on it, and I took that out for some huge air bashing, but I only did a 4S, so I guess it wasn't super huge air. And I say huge air and I say Typhon, and you guys are thinking about duper bash, and it wasn't that huge of air either. Just normal air, I guess. So that's what I'll be getting into is I want to get the kids ready, their stuff. I need to get this bench cleared is the problem. So I need to finish that build of the SMT as well with that APEP chassis by CCxRC Customs. And I needed to get it done so that I can get other stuff on the bench. I have a Kaiju I have to unbox and a couple of other cars. And I really want to run the Kaiju this weekend, so I got to get through some stuff, or at least get it so I can clear it. I think this is good enough for this one. It's not a quick process by any stretch of the imagination to shoot through these things, but when you spend the money on it, it's definitely worth the time that goes into it. And it really does make a nice thick protection in it. Just making sure there's a few places that look like they'll rub that I want to make sure I got. That one's done. Orange or Omega Yeti. You enjoyed that video? Yeah. How many people would like to see more crawler videos? They don't get a whole lot of views, but I don't mind doing them if like the people that love the channel and that you know, are regulars in everything. If it's stuff that you guys want to see, you guys are who I make this stuff for anyway. I think small, you know, the channel is growing, but I still think of it as small and kind of intimate with the people that come to these live chats and stuff like that. That's the core, and that's kind of who I'm trying to create stuff for. There's some of it that's kind of general audience, like the LMT, of course, is. That's a big audience of people, but a lot of the other stuff I really try to gear towards what I think you guys would want to see. A lot of people have been asking about more monster truck stuff. There you go, Kevin Gibbs. You can get an LMT. Nice. Yeah, if you guys use some of the links that I post in the videos, it does help. It's been helping this time where I've been I'm working part-time right now. Some of you guys know that, but it has been nice. There's been some definite little bit of help from the YouTube sales and stuff like that, which is nice. It's been helping getting through. What we got here? Oh, I didn't want to use another finger. Now I got two of them with the sticky junk on. What body options do we have for an LMT roller? Well, so here's the thing. The roller is really long, or the chassis in general is really long, and it doesn't need to be. If you are willing to cut the metal of the chassis off, get a grind wheel and just cut it off, which wouldn't be that hard to do, and then just kind of sand it down so it's not rough, the options are pretty endless because it's not that much bigger otherwise of a truck. It's just longer. And they did that because of the way that they mounted the body, and they wanted it to run to support the back of the body so it wouldn't break off as easily. Which has been really awesome for moonwalks because you have support right there that when you get up on the front end of the truck, it has something to push against. Almost like cheating. Not really. It's almost like the real thing when they get up on that nose and they're rubbing on the body and holding it. Kyle, yes, this is shoe goo. I am just spreading it on the inside of this airbrush body that I had done for. So this isn't like straight up monster trucks, but this is monster truck themed for those people that were wondering when it was going to get into monster trucks. So this is the Max D Speedster. If you watch like the arena ones or the smaller arenas, they race four-wheelers and they race speedsters is what they call them, but they're side-by-sides basically. They probably don't have a license to call it that, but they race them, and so we are trying to make our little Yeti Can-Ams into little speedsters. I already have a Gravedigger one, and this is my youngest son, Dominic's Max D, and then the other son wanted the Soldier of Fortune camo. This is Fire and Ice. So this is the ice one, and this is the Fire Megalodon. And then I just have a regular Gravedigger. So yeah, you guys know me. I like Gravedigger. Gravedigger, Son of a Digger. The Digger lineup. So sticky. Who else has good Claude videos? There's Claude Busted, who does Claude stuff and a whole bunch of other stuff. He's actually building a real monster truck as well. Trigger King has awesome Clodbuster racing in their retro racing. There's somebody to look at. Other Claude. There's somebody that does some really cool races that are set up in like a garage that literally look legit. Like they've set it up with the fans and stands and all that printed onto or painted onto fabric around the edges. It's super cool. I'm trying to think of who is it that does that. What channel that is. I know that I've seen it. When I've seen it, it's been Josh Rhodes posting it on Facebook. Might have been JB Scale Graphics that was doing it. I don't remember. That one's looking pretty good. I'm just trying to make somewhat protected. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just don't want to have these all scratched up from rubbing on the chassis. Rubbing all the paint away. Jared Thornton says Gravedigger's his favorite. There you go. Man, I grew up Micro Machines. We had the Micro Machines one. There was that cool Corvette Micro Machine monster truck. But I always wanted the Gravedigger ones. We play with the little toy cars, and I also had the Mad Dog too. I like that one a lot. But Gravedigger was my favorite. Gravedigger, Bigfoot, and USA 1. But, you know, as you're going through and selecting with your brothers, I'd always choose Gravedigger first. And, you know, they choose Bigfoot or USA 1. So I never got to have those as well. So by the time it came back around, it's usually Mad Dog or... Which is the only one, funny enough, that we found in the garage of stuff at my mom's was the Mad Dog. So I do actually have that. My boys play with it. Alright, trying to mixing up some stuff. Sure this ain't a bomb? What? Chris Hansen with Daily Watch. Okay, sounds like somebody that's whatever. Desi Wright, how about the Red Cat Danshi Ridge Rock? Haven't seen any of that. MTRC Scale Monster Truck Racing. That's it. Man, Freestyle RC for the win. That's the other truck I gotta build. Awesome ZEI. I just got my shocks in the mail for it. So I can start that. I have all the axle parts here. Check these out, Josh. Speedster time. This would be such a cheap racing thing to introduce. They're only 130 bucks. Stock class, box stock, run the NIM pack. We have so much fun with them, just racing them stock in the front yard, put up some cones, and we use the retro jumps and everything. It's a good time. They roll enough already as with the speed that they do have, which is not a ton, but it's enough to have some fun. I was saying to somebody, I'd be curious, with the way that the LMT is set up, you could almost make chassis that incorporate the center part of their chassis and all of their transmission layout and literally build the cage starting from their centerpiece and then do a full cage instead of the just the little flares that they have going front and back. That would seem like it'd be pretty cool. Give it that full truck look. Ah, see a big spot I missed. Max D. Some of these spots that I'm not getting look like they would actually be where the chassis cage would sit. So I'm going to go back in and make sure I get them good. So sticky. All right, we call that good. May need to build one, not stock though. You talking about one of these? Yeah, you don't keep anything stock. And that blood blister is killing. Oh, speaking of, here's my finished one. So this has the paddle tires on it for the sand at the moment, but I even went and spray painted the shocks. Then I dyed all the red parts to make them black. And then I left my battery plugged in for good measure. There we go. But yeah, turned out really cool. Again, this is Dark Side Designs. He's the one that I sent my body to for the buggy. And I just said, do something with flames. Bright green, black, white, kind of the colors I use in everything. But he does really cool work, so let him decide what he thinks works best. Where's the other top? Here we go. Alright. Who painted those Yeti bodies? So I just answered that. I'm behind in the chat. Do you think Axial will make a Bomber 2 kit? I don't know. I don't know that it sells enough. What's the name of our buggy? Dry Bones Rattling RC. It's Coastal RC Speedway and Hobbies. And it's in Chesapeake, Virginia. To find out which one of these is broken. This one still looks good. This one actually has updated shocks, because we did break the front shocks on this and we couldn't get them in. They were out of stock. You can see, look at the bodies all bent in. These things have just been through so much. So I just put on these atomic ones and they've been working good. Yeah. All right. So it's not that one. Pretty sure it's this one. Body has like bumps sticking out of it here, where that's gotta be the, yeah, it is. If you bend the body all the way down, that's where it's hitting with the tower, which is way down there. I need to get some of the new bodies. I don't need the new trucks necessarily, because these ones are running awesome still. But I'd like to get the ripped out. The new colors of bodies that they have are cool. So I see this is leaning pretty hard. Oh, we broke two things. Both of the shocks. Front one's gone. It's just pulled out. I might be able to jam it back in. We're gonna give that a try first, see if that's a working possibility. So still we'll want to take it off. Took my carry-all bag to the track. So my tools are in here. John, the man that never sleeps. Yeah, I'm in the East Coast. Why is that too late? Is there too late on YouTube? It's a global audience. Those are not politically correct views to have. I think you're time shaming people. Those are my thoughts. Let's just see what we have going on here. See if we can't, if nothing else, just shove some glue in the hole and stick it back in there. It's called What You Shouldn't Do at Home. We're gonna red green fix this thing. Slap a little duct tape on it. Call the grid. Man, is it dirty too. All the oil is, of course, leaking out, so it's super dirty. So, this is an old school shock. Does not have the new O-rings in it. I should see what it would cost to get those. We may just go ahead and redo all of the oil in the shocks all the way around. We'll see. So that does stop there. So I feel like we should be able to push it in here. Oh. I think that'll work. Wouldn't have hurt to stick a little shoe glue on that and stick it in. See if it pulls out easy. No, not really. So I think the grooving on it's gonna, oh shoot. Who can guess what I did wrong? Anyone? I forgot to put the spring on it. You know, it looks bent. So here's where we call up Hobby Shop Junior. And we see what we have in our parts bins that may be able to remedy this situation. In our Arma 3S bag. All right, so this is a Choose Your Own Adventure series. Do we take the easy way or the hard way? No, path 1 or path 2? Giving you 2 path options. But while I'm here, I have to find out what I did with the shock anyway. Here we go. I'm gonna open it up and just see how much shock oil is left in here. Just because I'm curious. Well, that did not open it. I actually haven't ever opened these shocks up. Do they only open from the bottom? Oh, I remember, you push this in and it's keyed. And I do not have it pushed in far enough to key it. That is right. Yep, we're going with plan 2. That is to just put a new shock on. Which actually looks like an old shock. So there's that. These just need new shocks in general. Well, that looks perfect. So I just took these off of that monster truck. They look ready to go right on here. So let's do that. These are new ones. I just don't like how they work with the keying them from the bottom to open them and all that. I don't feel like dealing with the shock oil in it. So we'll throw these back into the bag in case at some other point I do want to, which I don't think will ever be a time when I do want to. Man, you got some nice weather. Arizona. I think we're all going to want to move there. Especially Freestyle RC. Those guys have got to be wanting to move. Yeah, Mamba X would work great in that, CJ. It can definitely do the 1/8 system. Boom. All right. I even got like other ends for them. This slipper is going to go in. One of these is going to go in my 3S that I'm building. I have lots of these eyelet spring shaft things here for this, but it's just kind of a pain to do, so we're going to take a different route. Install a new shock. Need like a pivot ball or something in here. There isn't one, so I'm going to steal one from another something or other. Just make it do what you want it to do. This should fit. Maybe not. It's pretty tight. I don't think it does fit. Let's try and steal this one out of. Take the one out of the Arma if it'll come come out. It went. Problem is, with the amount of tension I'm putting on this, I feel like it's going to push through. Actually, that did it. Perfect. Meant to be like that. Pretty sure. Beautiful. What's up, Easy Froggies? I'm frozen. Let's see. Trying to charge my phone. I just got a 20% left. Pays to pay attention closer than I do, huh? Yeah, I got that 20% battery life remaining warning, which is weird because I have it plugged into a battery. Must just be draining it faster than it can charge. But I can't actually tell because when you're in YouTube, you can't see your battery life. So, and I also can't see the meter to know if it is charging or not. But yeah, we're gonna fake this on. Kind of looks like a Traxxas shock to me, but I can't be 100% positive. It's just coming off of another truck that it wasn't a slash, but it kind of looks like. Slash style shock. Come on. This is annoying. Need a new screw. This one is not biting. All right. Normally I invest in good screws, but found this thing on Amazon. I actually bought it for the other stuff that came with it. It just happened to come with screws too. Just a bunch of cheap screws. But now that Mike isn't doing the screw loose hardware right now, Mike Eaton, I guess I have to go to K&K or Dynamite. Or whoever makes screws. Oh, that feels 100% better too. These shocks are so springy right now, and this one's definitely dampened. So we're just gonna take them all out. Night, Kevin. East Coaster needs some sleep. I think It's just dirt jammed into this because it's the lower front. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and add these red shocks here all the way around this car and call it good. What are you guys working on tonight? Anything? Or are you just done working on stuff now? Oh, well, that sucks. AC says hurt too much. John's ordering parts for full rebuilds. Yikes. Does not sound cheap. Sounds like a very expensive day over at his house. Full rebuild of oval cars. Oval racing. All right. Now I gotta do the rears, which are actually a little taller, so we'll see. I might just end up ordering the new shocks for all these. Actually, what I'm going to do in the rear, so I am going to save it. This time we're going to do it with the spring on. And I'll stand on it. That's what we're going to do for the rear. And then pop on a root beer at least. Fred Barron's getting some surface washing on. There you go. I was actually going to jump on with RC Amigos here at 12:30, so I think I'm a little late to that. I might have to end this and go jump on there. Yeah, tops and monster trucks. Wow, that's super needs some preload spacers. So it's still gonna need some work. Hey, Pilot Ryan Media, what's going on? Trying to fix up my kids' trucks here a little bit. Don't know that I'm making them better at the moment. Trying to find my way around these. Shocks here. Not loving them. This front end's just too soft. So I might have to... When I was pushing before, I didn't realize this was underneath it. But I mean, there's nothing. These are set up for retro. But I had this underneath, was just springing it back up. There's just no lift back. So that ain't gonna work. So we revisit the shock options that I have for the front. I do have two completed I could put back on. And I have a strip screw. If we can entice it out with a different wrench. Just does not like that head. Ooh. Sean O'Connell, who's your favorite monster truck driver? I gotta say, I just love how Ryan Anderson drives. JMRC says zip tied a shotgun one night. There you go. Do what you gotta do. So we're just gonna put these on. These are just beater trucks. Even if they're just friction shocks, it'll be all right for them. That way when they drive a real truck, they'll be like, oh, okay. This is what real suspension feels like. I need to get in the Losi 10 trucks. Those things are awesome. But I need to get them interested enough first. I ain't gonna spend the money until I know they're interested. However, my sons loved the buggy. They really enjoyed, they were terrible at it, but they really enjoyed having it on the track and running it and how it felt. The super intense, precise steering and all that, they liked. Again, crazy because they weren't good at it. Super Drake's RC. These are awesome trucks if you just want one to beat up. And the new ones, the shocks will be better. So my main gripe with mine right now is all the shock oil is out. To get new shock oil in, I could use some of them, but they're so dirty now. And you got to like hold it down and twist in order to unscrew it, the bottom. It's just, this one's actually coming off no problem. But that one I tried to fix, where I just shoved it back in, that one is not going no problem. That one is giving mucho problem. It does not want to let me unscrew it to put more fluid in. So for now, it's just going back together. At least it can drive. But again, these are the ones that we just let anybody, kids, whoever drive. Which is why it's broken right now, is we had some guests over and they were flipping it and doing crazy stuff. It's springy. It'll do all right though. If it doesn't, I'll bring it back up and we'll get it. So basically you push these together and it starts to untwist. I could probably just use a wrench to do it too. But this one was bent. And so to get it off, I have to get it unbent by putting a new shock shaft in. But I cannot get it opened to do that. There it is, actually. There is not much in here. All right, so we can fix this. Now there's a light at the end of this tunnel. All of a sudden, we can do it the proper way. That we can. If we can get the screw off. This nut. Just spinning. Spinning, spinning, spinning. There we go. Could have been easier. Decided not to be. These are front mounts. There are different ones, front and rear, so I have to pay attention to. So that. Sits all like that. Pliers. And so now that we can get two of them opened, we'll go ahead and just redo the oil in it so it's not so bad. Yeah, there you go, dry bones. Get on it. Get you some of that racing fever. All right, so here we go. Put all this back on. I didn't need to take it off apparently. And we're just gonna do a quick job of this part as well. Man, these are just not the easiest things to work on. And we're cross-threading it. Let's see. Gotta have a lot of tools at your disposal to do this, apparently. Why is that so hard to screw on? Screwed off, no problem. It's such an insignificant part to have such an issue with. It's kind of maddening. Good enough. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot tonight. Pre-maintenance goes a long way. Preventive maintenance. So what they do is they're smart. They make it so that you, whoops, gotta put, what do I need? We need the spring. Waste a little bit of oil there. But the way that they've got this set up, so you have to be pushing down on it. It's kind of clever. It forces you to push out the excess oil. And get a workout on that spring. Holy cow. It's forced out all the extra oil, which is good. It has put way too much oil in there. That's tight right there. They love watching me struggle with this. Spring! So I need to take the ball out of the old one. Don't know why they don't put balls in the new ones. But they don't. You gotta hopefully not have lost a part of yours when you go to buy the rebuild. It's pushing through. Shock oil. Who needs moisturizer, right? It feels way better. All right, so again, take this off. Third time's a charm. That's why my projects take so long. I do it so many times. Where do I get the attachments for the drill? These are MIP ones right here. You can get them. I got them at my local hobby shop, but you can get them from MIP. You can get them from A-Main Hobbies. I'm sure JJ Customs. Lots of places should have them. If they don't, you should demand them to start carrying them. They're awesome. They saved my day today. The ball end ones like this. You can come in from an angle like this, and it still threads. So we actually want to start with the bottom. It's easier. That was something I wasn't doing early on, but it's definitely easier if you start at the bottom of the shock. So then you can kind of hold it in place. The top kind of holds itself in place as it is. So yeah, you just get up like this. And for the most part, it'll find where it needs to be. Okay. That's good, but this side does need some more oil. Since we did the front, other one, we'll just match them at 30 weight. I don't know what's in it currently, but a lot of my bashers I just do 30 weight. And it's really hard to hold it all together and do this twist. It's good to use a wrench. Leverage. Another small one. Went. And this is not fun to do these. Whoever designed this method from the bottom, I don't get it. Especially with the shock having, I guess you can take the shock off. What am I doing? So we could take this off and take the shock off. Just seems like weird extra work to do it. All right, so now we can take it off. The MIPs are on back order. Wow, this one had even less in it. Oops, too much. We'll just let it spill out. Yeah, so I guess if you put the shock on at the end, I was being dumb. That's what happens when you get an RTR and you don't have directions that tell you how to build it the first time. So now we can add the shock on. Hopefully this threading will go on easier. Not really. Not really. That's better. So this one had a retainer on it. Like that. So I have another one in here I can grab a retainer from. Want to have a matching. Let's pull it off. There we go. Yeah, go brushless if you do one of these for sure. Good advice, Pilot Ryan. It's way easier to just buy it brushless than to do an upgrade. Because really, to do the upgrade, you need to buy the 32 pitch one of these, and these are like $60 for the slipper assembly. But you're gonna want it because trying to mesh that 48 pitch is not fun, and it strips out on it. All right, so this is the longest shock change in the history of live shock changes, I think. Definitely want to go brushless. All right, now we're talking. Back feels good. Front feels good. At least it feels good. Makes me feel better about the amount of wasted time I just did on it. It's for your children. It's not a waste of time. I'm reading here. Not sure which size pinions the granite can take. Probably says on the motor mounting plate. If it's the Nega, it's 48 pitch. Oh yeah, what size? If it's the new ones, they you can put a lot of different sizes on because it actually can. It's an adjustable motor mount. Mine doesn't have like the number system anymore, which they need. Because the way that this pulls apart, trying to line that all up and then put it back together, there's nothing holding that slipper assembly to make sure you have the mesh set right. So there's that. All right, so they can drive these again. Bumper's a little mangled and smashed in. Oh, it's broken. So what are we gonna do? We gotta fix that. This will do. Oh, it won't do. Oh ho ho. Who has an idea? I have an idea. We can find solutions to problems. Let's see. This looks like a pretty decent solution. I like to keep that on. This little grindstone is so good on plastic. This is a little cordless Dremel light. I don't know why I waited so long to get one of these. They're magic. This doesn't seem to be working. Oh, yeah, it is. And it just stopped working. Oh, no, there it is. All right. I think we're ready for our solution. All right. Boom. One solution, one problem solved. And the other side. Still gonna do bumper stuff. That's what it's supposed to do. I could have used any other bit that would have probably worked better than that drill bit. Boom. Still has the cushion back there, so we're good. No, it just sits behind the body. It's all good. Yeah, SMT Racer just ran a drill bit through your finger. I just ran a hex driver into my finger. Have a nice blood blister. Hurts like crazy right now working on all this stuff. Just run it over with the LMT. Good idea. All right, guys, I'm going to cut this one, and I'm going to jump on over to, I didn't realize it's already 1 o'clock, but I'm going to jump over to RC Amigos. I was going to jump on with him at 9:30 California, Seattle time. Keep thinking he's in California, but he's in Washington. So I'm going to jump on over there. Pacific Coast time. So if you guys are looking for a place to hang out, I invite you all over to RC Amigos. Yeah, I use the drill bit to pop the blister. Maybe. Maybe not though. Maybe I'll just sand it off with this bit. This was so great on so many things that you have to sand off on the clodbusters. Boom. All right. Bash truck, ready to bash. These are some of the most durable trucks. I can't even believe what we've done to this and that it still drives. 300 bucks in, and that's all we've done with it. Nothing extra. Oh wait, this one did get a servo put in it. Or is this one still, one of them is still stock. I don't remember which one. So $330, because I probably put an Eco Power servo in it if it did die. All right, Izzy, it's bedtime for you. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk monster trucks. So I just want to get on here and chat a little bit about the buggy thing real quick. But now I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna continue wrenching, but I don't know on what. I need to put this guy into the bar rebuild. I snapped off the one of these huge pins on this drive shaft. Snapped off. Oh, these are Freestyle RC things. Cool. Cool. All right, guys. Have fun RCing. We'll catch you next time.